What's going on, people? It is finally done. It is finally here. The Halloween kill ranking. Thank you guys for your patience, and thank you so much for your support and all of your guys' awesome comments regarding the Nightmare on Elm Street kill ranking. It was a very ambitious video for what I thought that it was. 34 kills, a lot of different studio tricks that I was trying to do, like with the graphics and everything. This one's gonna be a bit different because there's not just 34 kills in the Halloween franchise. There is 132 kills that I will be ranking in this video. And same rules as the Nightmare on Elm Street. If a kill scene has multiple people killed within seconds of each other, I'm just counting that as one scene. So yes, there is more than 132 deaths in this franchise, but it would be stupid for me to rank people that are killed within succession of a couple of seconds. So I'm just gonna be focusing on individual scenes. I'm including all of the off-camera kills. I'm including all of the kills that we just find the aftermath of, which we had quite a bit in Halloween 2018. So a lot of different varieties, a lot of different styles, a lot of different kills, all ranked worst to best. Something else that's going to be different from that ranking in this ranking is that I'm not going to be commentating on all 132. That would be ridiculous. That would be the longest video on earth, or this would be 8 parts. And I don't want to do that. I think it's going to be the best to do it this way, where I'm going to actually rank all 132 kills, but I'm only going to be commentating on ones that I actually have something to say. There's a lot of kills in this where there's not really anything to say other than I like it better or worse than the one before or after it. So with all of that said, let's get cracking, and I'm going to be starting with the bottom 5 that I do have words for all of these bottom 5s, because damn, these kills suck. 132. Bottom of the barrel, worst kill in this entire franchise, to me, which might surprise some people, is from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and it is the death of Loomis in the director's cut, where you have Michael Myers shoving him out of this wooden barn into the line of fire of all these cops, gives that horrendous line.
Michael, for God in heaven, die!
And then that's it. That's the death of Loomis. Loomis wasn't even very good in this movie. As many things as I will defend with it, Loomis was not very good. There's another death of Loomis that I will be talking about a little bit higher on this list, but this is not only the worst kill, it's one of the worst scenes in the entire franchise. I cannot stand the fact that Rob Zombie made Michael Myers speak. If you're gonna give Michael Myers a line, give him a line that actually has impact. Just this corny ass, out of nowhere, die! Horrible. Horrible, horrible. And I beg you, if you have some things about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 that you actually like, but this, amongst other decisions in this film, really turn you off, please seek out the theatrical edition, because this is strictly in the director's cut, which unfortunately is the more predominant version out there for people to buy. So go online, find the theatrical cut. I'll be talking about that one a little bit later. 131. Probably the kill that pisses me off the most in this franchise. And it is the alternate reality kill, what I will call it, of the ending of H2O. The reality that this is not Michael Myers that got decapitated by Jamie Lee Curtis at the end. This is actually just random paramedic that Michael Myers stripped butt-ass naked and switched clothes with, stuck the mask on, and had this huge plot that the entire last 5 to 10 minutes of H2O just leads to Jamie Lee Curtis killing the wrong person. Fuck that idea. Not only is Resurrection just a bad movie all around, but that decision right there for somebody that loves H2O infuriates me. So stupid, the logic of it is idiotic. The decision to do that, I'm getting mad just talking about it. 131. Sticking with Resurrection at 130 is the death of Laurie Strode. Such an unceremonious, disrespectful way to get rid of this character. I am not against killing off Laurie Strode at all. I actually think they should have done it in Halloween 2018. Go watch my review, I say it very proudly. But the way that they do it in this just makes the entire opening of this film a gigantic sour taste that never quite leaves your mouth. The whole thing with her setting this trap for Michael, luring him in, all that stuff is actually pretty damn cool. But the whole thing with her being confused again and reaching for his mask and allowing him to grab her, they go off the roof together and she lands on his knife. No. No, no, no. 130. 129, a death that I honestly didn't have a whole lot of emotion for until I started to genuinely become a fan of this film right here, Halloween 4. And this is a kill in Halloween 5, where one of the best characters of Halloween 4, Rachel Carruthers, again, unceremonious, disrespectful kill. Michael Myers comes out from behind a door, stabs her in the shoulder with scissors. By Rachel. Gone from the movie. Now we get to hang out with Tina. Damn you! And capping off the bottom 5 at 128 is the producer's cut death of Jamie Lloyd. For those of you that have not seen the producer's cut, very different movie than the theatrical cut of Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. In the producer's cut, Wynn, aka the Man in Black, simply walks up to Jamie Lloyd while she is in a coma of sorts in the hospital bed, tells her that her job is done, sticks a gun to her head, and he fires the gun into her temple off camera. As if killing Jamie Lloyd and not bringing back Danielle Harris was disrespectful enough, this version of her death can kiss my ass. Moving on.
Damn. Shit, Earl. It's Ted Hollister.
At 120, we are going back again to the director's cut of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and immediately following my least favorite kill in this franchise is the death of Michael Myers in this cut, where after he says die, kills Loomis, everybody opens fire on him. Bullets. And he falls to his death. Very weak ending, very weak death for Michael Myers. I don't remember exactly. There was a work print version of Rob Zombie's Halloween where that was basically how Michael Myers died in that film. I don't remember if the studio changed it or if Rob Zombie changed it, but it feels like he went back to that because he wanted to recycle that idea that he didn't get to do in his first movie. Just for somebody that's a fan of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, that version of his death is not satisfying at all, especially compared to the other one, which obviously will be higher on this list. Well, for 119, as Colonel Cochran said, the hills ran red, but this death made me want to go run for those damn hills. Colonel Cochran's death in Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. If you've seen my rankings, if you've seen my review, I am a huge fan of Halloween 3. I think it is a underrated masterpiece. I absolutely love that film. And I love Colonel Cochran as a villain. I think that he's great, he's intimidating, great performance by that actor. I love his sick, twisted scheme, and the fact that depending on how you interpret the ending, he wins. That's all awesome. His death, weak and does not age well at all. Just doesn't age well. Might have been okay in the 80s, watching it in 2019. Ugh. This is the kill that soured Halloween 2018 for quite a lot of people. Me included. This was the moment in the movie that everything kind of stopped dead in its tracks and I went, where in the hell is this thing going? And that's when Sartain randomly pulls out that pretty gnarly looking penknife, stabs Hawkins right in his neck, and just lets him bleed out. Killing a great character that I really wanted to see in more films to service the weird storyline twist risk that they took of a not so great character, one of my least favorite aspects of Halloween 2018. And it's all capped off by that bullshit where he goes to the front, puts on Michael Myers' mask, and this. Fuck you, get out of here. 107, probably the most useless scene in this entire franchise. Definitely the most useless scene of the two Rob Zombie films. This is going to the director's cut sequence in Rob Zombie's Halloween, where you get Kendall and Noel, I believe, the two demented hillbilly, what the fuck do you call them? Security guards? I don't know what the hell they were doing there. They were thrown there to be Rob Zombie characters. Who the fuck cares what their occupation was? They brought a patient into Michael Myers' room to rape her in the presence of Michael Myers. Ridiculously stupid, pointless scene that really just feels like Rob Zombie putting it in there just to have more icky stuff in his films. And that's, no matter how many things I can defend about some of his films, and I can't defend a whole lot, that's something that I would never even bother trying to defend. This scene sucks. It's pointless. Absolutely pointless. It has no merit whatsoever in the film. It's just there for shock value. You already know these two characters are gross before you even meet this scene, so it doesn't really establish the fact that they're scumbags. It's not like we didn't know that going in. And the only reason that Michael Myers gets set off is because they're putting all his masks on while they're raping this girl. It's just... Nonetheless, Michael stands up pissed off, kills both of them. And they're okay kills. It's not the bottom 5 level bad, because you do get to see him take out a couple of douchebags, and I do like the atmosphere of his room with all the different masks that he's made over the years. It's the unnecessary rape and the ridiculously over-the-top white trashiness that I really don't like Michael Myers being around. But unfortunately, that's what Rob Zombie likes, so there's a lot of it in his first film. $105. Well, too bad for Mr. Peanut Butter on My Penis, because one of the most useless characters of that film just gets choked out with a chain. He goes to look at this cop car that pulls up. Michael Myers comes back behind him and snuffs him out, and he's down for the count, which is hilarious when you watch the film, because this is a husband, this is a father, this is a son-in-law to the remaining characters left in this third act, and nobody gives a shit that he's missing, that he's dead. Nobody even bothers looking for him. They scream his name one time, they don't even care. They don't even verify that he's dead, I'm not even sure. There might be a scene, but most useless character, most useless comedic relief, fuck Ray. He's out. 195. Now this is one where we find just the aftermath of what Michael Myers has done, and it is lower on this list because of that. I'm never gonna put a scene like this where you just find the aftermath above a scene that we actually get to experience the kill. At least I don't think, unless it's a really effective find. But I do like this scene in Halloween 2 where Nurse Alves, I believe is how you say her name, maybe Alvis, whatever, the nurse that has the IV stuck in her arm when she's passed out on this gurney, and her blood has basically filled the entire room on the floor. Just a really cool scene how it kind of develops. You got the guy that walks in, he sees that she's there, just looks like she's asleep or what we presume is probably dead. He traces the little IV down and sees this pool of blood, and then the dumbass slips in it. So I like this scene. Number 90, Sheriff Meeker and all of his cop compadres getting blown away by the man in black. A guy that we had only seen his shoes and certain aspects, certain outlines of him throughout the entire runtime of Halloween 5, not knowing who the hell this guy is, when the hell he's going to come into play. And you don't even really get any answers to that until Halloween 6, which the answers are which is kind of why this is down so low. But the scene itself, interesting enough place to leave Halloween 5, a movie that I'm not a fan of. An interesting enough place to leave for a sequel to pick up off of. It's okay. Number 77, and you can blame the low placement of this kill on marketing, and that is Vicky opening up the closet to find Michael Myers and having her be stabbed to death while the kid that she's babysitting is running up and down the stairs cracking jokes. This is a scene that basically was blown in the trailers. It was a good scene to put in the trailer, so I understand why they did it, but it definitely kills all of the tension of this scene because you already know what's going to be behind the door. You already know what's going to happen. And once Michael Myers is out there, I mean, there's no tension because of the way that they kind of shove comedy into this scene. It's a funny scene, but I don't know if you should put comedy in a scene like this. '74, one of the Spy Kids gets beaten to death with a big ass branch. yeah, Rob Zombie's Halloween. Technically Michael Myers' first human kill, or at least what we're shown to be his first human kill, unless there's something that we didn't know about in the wild-ass white trash backstory that we got in this film. But yeah, this character Wesley, who's probably one of the most despicable and disgusting bullies that's ever been put on screen. He's a character that you want to see meet some kind of pain. Like, he's set up in that way. But the way that Rob Zombie directs this scene is very unnerving and disturbing, and it kind of lingers a little bit too long. And sometimes that works in a movie that's supposed to be about a killer, especially for like the introspective way that Rob Zombie's trying to tell the story in this one. But for the way that he set up that bully, I don't think that that was the right tone to go for this scene. It's just a little bit too uncomfortable to watch. It should have been a little bit more enjoyable, dare I say?
Get away from him! Stop breathing! No!
Number 71, this is the alternate, the theatrical cut of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 where Loomis meets his end. Basically the same exact setup. Loomis, Michael, Laurie are all in this hut. The police are surrounding them. There's helicopters, there's lights coming through. Laurie's losing her shit. Loomis is trying his best to redeem himself, to go there, try to break through to her, to try to save her from herself and from Michael. And basically Michael gets a vision from his mother that says it's time to go home. He turns to Loomis and fucks him up. Now, if this was the Donald Pleasance Loomis, this would be one of the worst scenes in the entire franchise. But because they placed this version, this Malcolm McDowell version of Loomis, to be such a dick in the second movie, which is one of my least favorite aspects, I'm not defending that decision at all, but because we just spent a whole movie with that, the fact that you get to see him meet the end, the grisly, graphic end that he meets in this, it kind of fits. And it's pretty freaking gnarly to look at. Whenever you actually see like the aftermath, and he's got like almost like the jack-o'-lantern smile going on from Halloween 2018, where his face and his eyes are like kind of halfway cut out, it is wicked. So, kind of like it. '66, Tina's death. I said it in my review. Game of Thrones fans, you know that sensation that came over you whenever you saw Joffrey starting to cough with that goblet of wine and grab his throat? That was the same sensation I had whenever I saw Tina come out of nowhere and grab Michael Myers' knife and tell Jamie to run. I was like, it's happening. She's gonna die. She's gonna leave this fucking movie, yes! Now there's people that say that maybe she didn't die, that she was wheeled away to a hospital or something. Whatever, we're gonna pretend for the sake of this list that she died, because that's the reality I wanna live in. 58. This is going to be a comment starter. Yes, this is going to be a kill from the original 1978 Halloween. Sacrilege, I know, blasphemy. Annie Brackett. I'm not a huge fan of her character. She's not like terrible, but when I watch Halloween, she's the one aspect of the movie that doesn't quite date very well her acting ability. And if I can be honest, I don't think her kill is all that interesting. It's basically Michael Myers in the back of a car strangling her, and until I did my revisited review, so that's reviewing this film twice, until I did that review and had people actually correct me that she wasn't just strangled, he actually slits her throat really quick. As many times as I've seen this movie, I swear to you, I never noticed that. That's how awkwardly handled this kill is, how fast it is, and how much my interest isn't really there enough to notice a knife slashing across her throat. So, sorry, 58, gonna be a kill from Halloween 1. 52, yes, I have a kill from Resurrection, this high up on the list, and it is Jenna's death. Katie Sackhoff, one of the interesting enough characters to keep my attention. It's slim pickings in this movie, so give me some forgiveness there. But it's the kill where Michael Myers comes out of nowhere. Nobody in the room really understands if this is Michael Myers or if this is Busta Rhymes playing Michael Myers, but they find out pretty quick when he cuts her head off in one little swoop and her head falls down the stairs, showing the POV shot of her little head camera. I actually like this kill. I think that there are some things redeemable about Resurrection. This is one of them. I was not prepared for the later effect of this kill in Halloween 2018, but it is when Michael Myers snaps Kevin's neck. The little boy, the one that wants to be a dancer, that guy. Not only because Michael Myers actually kills a child, which is usually taboo in these movies, so I like the balls that it took to do that kill. And it is, I believe, the first on-screen kill that we actually see Michael Myers do, so this is like our introduction to this version of Michael Myers, James Jude Courtney. But there's a scene later on in this movie where Michael Myers passes by a baby crying in a crib, and because of this kill, that scene over an hour later into the film gave me chills and made my heart skip a beat because I thought, are they actually going to take it that far? So I like this kill not only because of the balls it took, but also because of the long-lasting effect it had on me. 41 is from the theatrical cut of Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, and this is when Michael Myers throws Jamie Lloyd onto that corn thresher machine, and she's got these 3 spikes all the way through her chest. And you kind of get this moment of embrace where she kind of reaches out for Michael, and he looks like he's going to do the same thing and just shoves her even further onto it, and then turns it on, which kind of like starts scrambling her up. It's a pretty graphic kill, so I like that. If you're going to kill Jamie Lloyd, at least make it a cool kill. And I think it is a cool enough kill, especially with the gore and the intensity that they went for in Halloween 6, one of its best aspects. It's low on this list because I don't like the fact that they killed Jamie Lloyd. I don't like the fact that they brought this new actress in. It feels a little unceremonious, disrespectful to kill her off so early in the movie. So that's what holds it back for me from being higher. If it had been a better movie, a better utilization of her character, maybe that's how she died in the 3rd act, it'd be a lot higher, believe me. Number 26, again going back to the theatrical cut of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, which is a much superior cut. Trust me, seek it out. This is the death of Michael Myers that is so much better, so much more effective, and so much more of a fitting conclusion to the story he was telling, whether you like it or not, in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Stabbing him in the chest, stabbing him in the face, just unleashing hell on Michael Myers, which again leads to the very end of the film where she's in the asylum, and just it's a nice wrap up to his version of this story. A lot of people hate it, I get it, but if you're a fan of this movie, or if there's certain things that you can latch onto, this is a much better kill and a much better ending to that film. Number 21, I actually find this to be a really underappreciated kill and an underappreciated scene. I actually see people criticize it sometimes, which I don't get at all. And that's a scene from the theatrical cut of Halloween 6 where you get George P. Wilbur, the guy that actually portrayed Michael Myers, in a reshoot scene where he's a doctor running away from this massacre that just happened inside of this surgery room, and they're in this red tunnel where you have Paul Rudd and the other characters and the baby. I don't remember the woman's character. She's not interesting enough for me to remember. But you have all these people running away from Michael Myers. And I like the fact, first of all, that Michael Myers actually has some speed to him in this scene. Like, he's actually walking fast. Like, he actually wants to catch people. He's not doing the Jason Voorhees thing where he's gonna slowly zombie walk and eventually he'll catch up to you. No, he's actually out for your ass. But you got George P. Wilbur, who's chased all the way until he gets this bar door slammed in front of him, and he's sitting there begging for them to open it back up. Michael Myers gets to him, just starts bashing his head into the bars, and in a scene in which they don't necessarily go full gore, he basically pushes his face through the door, through the bars, knocking the door over. I really like this scene. I think it's cool, I think it's intense, and it's one of my favorite kills of that movie.
Let me introduce myself. I'm Joe Christie, bitch.
Alright people, top 15. I will be talking about every single one of these kills because every single one of them merits some bit of commentary. Number 15, gotta go with the classic from Halloween 2, when Nurse Jill gets the scalpel in her back and a showcase of Michael Myers' strength yet again just lifts her up all the way up into the air and her little coggles fall off. And Jamie Lee Curtis is just standing there like, oh, this motherfucker again. I love that kill. Very cool, very iconic scene. And a lot of times when you search Halloween 2, that's one of the first things that you'll see is some kind of an image of that scene. Just a classic display of the classic Michael Myers. Number 14 is one of the best scenes of Halloween 2018. One of the few scenes that actually get better for me upon rewatch, whereas some things get worse upon rewatch. This is the bathroom kill of both Dana and Aaron, the two podcasters that basically kick off our story for this new sequel. And it's a very intense, badass scene and a huge display of the brutality of this James Jude Courtney version of Michael Myers, which I've said before, give him another movie, he might end up being my favorite Michael Myers. He walks in, and kind of a callback to H2O. Some people say it's unintentional, some people say it is, whatever. They're in the bathroom stall, or at least Dana is, and you get Michael walking in, sly as fuck, throws these bloody teeth down on the floor over the bathroom stall, which is just grisly as hell. Starts banging on the door, she's freaking out, she's crawling underneath on a nasty ass floor, trying to call for help. Aaron comes in, gets a couple of swings at Michael, and then Michael just unleashes hell on him and just slams his head multiple times into this door until it busts open. Then he slams his head into the brick wall until he's pretty much dead. Like, his skull is basically about caved in at this point, and he's just bleeding all over the place. But before he can take his last breath, he turns his fury over to Dana, lifts her up, and snaps her neck in full sight of Aaron right before he dies. Now, some people have said he doesn't actually die. To hell with that. That makes this scene lose a lot of its craziness. He's dead. And these two deaths put together just one of the most grisly, brutal scenes in this franchise. Number 13, Happy Happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Coming back to Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. And this is the big scene of the movie. One of the most iconic scenes, if not the most iconic scene in this film. And that's when you had the family that are locked into this room for basically a test of the display of power of Colonel Cochran with this commercial that he has. So you have the kid that's wearing the pumpkin mask. He's sitting there, the song's going faster. He starts grabbing his head. His head basically melts and turns into a nest for insects, snakes, all kinds of critters. The mom passes out from shock and then starts getting overran by critters. The dad gets bit by the snake, falls down, starts getting overran by critters. Holy shit, I love this scene. Not only is it a great display of power and a great display of terror with the reality of what this guy's plan actually is, but it's just a wicked death scene. Remember what I said about taboo killing kids? This is how you do it. Number 12, the one that started it all. Judith Myers being stabbed by Michael Myers, young Michael Myers, in the opening scene of Halloween 1. Can't take anything away from this. This is what gave us this franchise. This is what set this movie off from the very beginning. Seeing this POV shot of somebody walking up through the stairs, stabbing this young girl to death. Going all the way downstairs and having it revealed to be a young child. Brilliance. Number 11, one of the showcase scenes in Halloween 2018. This is the first half of it. The second half you saw earlier on this list. The big, long, mimicked one-track shot where Michael Myers, back in Haddonfield, back on Halloween night, the great score of The Shape is back, or The Shape returns. He goes through on the side of the house with his camera, just one-track shot, finds a claw hammer, walks into the house, looks around, walks over to a woman, and this kill is completely off screen, and it's still this effective. This was the scene that told you that Michael Myers was back. Number 10, Welcome to Maz. Octavia Spencer, her scene in Halloween 2, or Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, rather. Got to distinguish which one you're talking about. So you have Octavia, and I believe her character's name is Octavia as well. Basically this nurse that shows up in this scene in the opening 10 minutes or so whenever Laurie Strode is having this nightmare of the hospital sequence. A great callback, in my opinion, to Halloween 2, the original. But basically she already has this cut down her face. She tries to open her mouth and speak and blood just kind of shoots out. She starts screaming. Great performance that she gives in this scene. The fear, the pain, she starts crawling around on the floor, and this is the scene that showed you that Michael Myers and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 was not screwing around. This guy is as brutal as he has ever been and probably ever will be in this film. And he just walks over to her, gets his knife, grabs her, lifts her up slowly, and in a decision that I actually really like, but a lot of people hate, he audibly grunts with every single swipe that he gives her, and he just stabs the living shit out of her, leading all the way to a scene where she's been stabbed in her skull and you see the aftermath. Just what a way to open a film. Number 9, the first kill of Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, and one of the most effective kills of this franchise, being that it's this high. That is where the nurse that is trying to free Jamie Lloyd, trying to get her and her baby out of this mental hospital or this cult building that she has been held in, and is basically, as soon as she gets her free, you slowly start to see Michael's mask just show up behind her. And just stands there and does the classic Michael Myers head tilt of, Man, that was pretty cool. Number 8. No matter how much you dislike this movie, and there is a lot of people that dislike it, you cannot take anything away from the effectiveness of this scene, and that is Annie Brackett's death in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. In a scene where you really don't get to see him actually do a whole lot aside from smack her around a bit, it's the aftermath which is what makes this so effective. It's the aftermath of seeing her there all bloodied and cut up and basically clinging on to the little bit of life that she has, just long enough for Laurie to find her. And not only that, but the scene, the clincher, the one that sells this, the one that actually makes Brad Dourif like another level as far as what you get in a movie like this. When Sheriff Brackett comes home and finds his dead daughter. One of the best performances I've ever seen Bradley Dourif give, and by far the best performance that you're gonna get out of both of the Rob Zombie films. Number 7, few things more satisfying in a slasher film than seeing some jerk asshole get it. And John Strode is one of the epitome of dickhead in these Halloween films. This is the stepfather or the father in Halloween 6 that's just, from the beginning of the movie, from the first time you see this guy, you hate him. You want him to die horribly. In the producer's cut, you don't quite get that, but in the theatrical cut, which is where this kill comes from, it's basically an extended version of the producer's cut kill where he is placed up against this circuit breaker, fried damn near to a crisp, and then his head just fucking explodes. That's how you kill an asshole in a slasher film. Take note. Number 6, another kill that I find very underappreciated in this franchise, and it's actually my favorite kill of this movie. This movie right here, and that is the scene when you have Michael Myers still wearing the bloodied bandaged mask, and he just kind of pops into view, enough for the mechanic to see him and react, and then he just spears his ass. I like the brutality of that scene, I like the quickness of it, the way that it's shot from 2 different angles, and like I've said before, which might be an unpopular opinion, I actually prefer the bloodied bandage mask to whatever the fuck that was. Number 5, we've already discussed this kill, but we discussed the bullshit alternate garbage reality version of it. This is the version, speaking if H2O was actually the canon ending of the franchise and resurrection never happened. The way that I like to think this kill actually was originally conceived. There's reports that dispute that though, whatever, I'm living in my reality. And this is the kill where Jamie Lee Curtis finally gets to end Michael Myers. Where she's gone through hell all of her life from the aftermath of the first 2 films. She's gone through hell through the entirety of H2O, both mentally and when she actually meets up with Myers physically. Great fights all the way around. Then you get to the badass final scene where she's got him pinned against this tree. He's reaching out for help. There's a small little tender moment of almost embrace there. And then she pulls back and just swings that axe, taking his head completely off. That should have been the end of that series of films, that timeline of the Halloween franchise. Number 4, going back to Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, and this is one of the most grisly things that I think this franchise has given us. And another reason why I think Halloween 3, despite a lot of people being in its camp nowadays, is still very underappreciated. And that is the kill with Marge Guttmann, this random woman that they meet in the motel where she's got a silver shamrock mask. She sees the button, she sees there's some kind of a chip behind it, and she starts tinkering with it until it shoots this laser in her face. And the best part about it, honestly, is the reaction of Don Chalice, who hears this, because Miss Grimbridge is like, what happened? And then he says this.
What's that?
Who cares?
I hear you, Tom. I hear you. But it is the visual, the special effects of what happened to this woman's face. Woo. Number 3, Pamela Susan Shoop from H2. Halloween 2, 1981. My favorite kill of that entire movie, one of my favorite kills in this franchise, obviously, way the hell up here. And that is the hot tub drowning, because it kind of has two different effects of kills. Like, a lot of people have the fear of burning, and a lot of people have the fear of drowning. Well, this kind of mashes that together in some crazy ass sadistic way, where Michael Myers, apparently impervious to the heat of this water, has this hot tub going all the way up to scalding, keeps repeatedly shoving this woman's face down into the water. Every time she comes up, there's more deteriorated skin and some really great early practical effects. Creativity. That's what we need in slashers nowadays. You see what I'm talking about? This old shit did it right. Number 2, runner up for best kill in this entire franchise. And this is gonna shock some people because I'm not the biggest fan of Halloween 2018, especially compared to a lot of people who love this film. But my number 2 kill does come from Halloween 2018, and it's the second to last kill in this film. When you have the 2 police officers that I don't really care for in their little comedic scene, but the aftermath when Michael Myers gets through with them, whenever they pull up to the house and Ray comes to find them. You get Officer Richard, who's got that infamous little Sartain penknife in his head with his throat slashed. But the reason that this is number 2, and one of the most creative kills that I've ever seen in a slasher, one of the most awesome things that I've seen in this franchise, the hollowed out head of his partner, that human jack-o'-lantern with the flashlight shining through, leaving his eye holes and his mouth hole like glowing. Like,
Go ahead.
holy shit. That is what I'm talking about. That is why I am a horror fan. Right there, baby. But number 1, the crown jewel, the best, my favorite kill in this entire franchise does in fact bring us back to that classic original 1978 film, and that is Bob's kill. Where Michael Myers is hiding in a closet or a pantry, Bob goes to open the door, he grabs him by the throat, slams him up against this cabinet, and again, showing the pure brute strength of Michael Myers for really one of the first times in the film and in this franchise, lifts him up with one hand, pulls that knife back, and stabs his ass into the door, leaving him just dangling there, dead. And the thing that capped it all off, which is again just this whole scene just embodies what Michael Myers is about. The brute strength, the brutality, the lack of empathy, and then this when he just kind of starts that infamous Michael Myers head tilt, that childlike curiosity of, wow, look what I just did. That's pretty cool, that's interesting. I wonder what's going on here. That whole aspect of Michael Myers, everything about this kill scene is the reason why I love the character, the reason why we love the character, and the reason why we love this franchise. Whew. Well, that's it, guys. 132 kills. Every kill in the Halloween franchise ranked. What do you think? I don't expect everybody to do 132 in the comments. I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna get a couple of them, but If you could just put your top 10 or 15, that would be enough for me to start conversation. So give me your top 10 or 15 kills of this franchise down below. Maybe give me some reasons why, especially if you're only given 4 or 5 of them, so that I can actually find out why you like these better. It's a little more interesting than just seeing numbers with kills, but show me your favorite kills in the Halloween film franchise, and we will talk about it, guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your patience waiting for this video. Could not wait to show you guys what I've had in store for this one. We got Friday the 13th coming up in September. We have a Friday the 13th that month, so look out for that one. I might do a couple more franchises in between there. We've got Child's Play coming around the corner with the remake. We've got Texas Chainsaw, which I've already reviewed. You might get some more kill rankings, so let me know down below what is the next franchise that you want to see me do a kill ranking for, and we could talk about that as well, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and share this video. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. If you guys want to check out some social media links, you can check those out in the video description below. Check out Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and my Patreon page, which is a great way to give back to this channel, help this channel grow, and get cool exclusive content for your eyes only if you decide to become a patron. And also, I just joined Teespring. I used to do Spreadshirt, which I still have active, I might delete, but Teespring is actually right below this video. So there's Cody Leach merchandise like t-shirts, pillows, decal stickers, all kinds of cool stuff that you don't even have to click away. You can check all that out right down below. So check that out, please, guys. And if you want to check out some more of my videos, including all of the Halloween movies reviewed, ranking of the franchise, ranking of the masks, ranking of the actual Michael Myers actors, all of that good shit, you can check that out by clicking right over here.